Hello everyone. So good to see you again. Even though Chat GPT has become a global earthquake since its launch, it is important to note that no matter how powerful and useful it is, Chat GPT will never have a chance in North Korea and China. Upon the appearance of Chat GPT, the Chinese government immediately ordered telecommunications companies and major technology corporations in the country such as Tencent and Alibaba not to provide services for Chat GPT, whether directly or indirectly through third-party platforms. In short, the Chinese government did everything in its power to prevent citizens from accessing the GPT website and even required companies to obtain permission from regulatory agencies before developing and introducing chatbots or similar artificial intelligence products. China's domestic companies strictly enforced this policy, not only blocking access to the Chat GPT website but also banning all similar products and services. The reason why China banned Chat GPT is that the country has always prohibited search engines from the United States and other countries, and has strict control over internet information censorship. This is not a conspiracy theory or bad-mouthing of China, as even mainstream media in China have reported that the Chinese government is concerned that information from Chat GPT could be used to spread false information and seriously affect national security. Therefore, they have banned it, and everyone understands this. China has always done a good job in this regard, as young Chinese people are unaware of world-changing events like the Tiananmen Square incident. If you ask them what the event is, they will just say it is a beautiful place. An article in Atlantis magazine claimed that China would have no chance to compete with the US in the field of chatbots and the use of artificial intelligence. However, this is not entirely true. First, the lack of information is a major issue. As you may know, any form of artificial intelligence, including GPT, requires a huge and accurate amount of data to analyze and learn from before forming its own knowledge and mindset, much like a child needs books and materials to learn. The less information there is, the more difficult it is for GPT to improve and develop. Second, the development of artificial intelligence is a global trend. Even if China has a hard time in the short term, it can catch up with the US in the long run by increasing investment and promoting innovation. So, in conclusion, the Chinese government's ban on GPT is understandable. Still, it does not necessarily mean that China will never be able to compete with the US in the field of chatbots and artificial intelligence. For example, you see a builder constructing a simple square pigsty, and you think you could easily build one too. But once you start, you realize that you need to mix the mortar to a certain ratio, and how many bricks are needed for the wall to be stable, how to make the wall even and straight, without any curves or unevenness. It's not as simple as you thought. This is similar to the process of creating a baby, which requires a lot of knowledge. China faces the challenge of having limited internal data compared to the global internet. Therefore, it's possible that someone in China may not be as knowledgeable as someone who travels the world and learns a lot. If they want to train their AI well, they need to provide more resources, but China may not want their AI to read foreign materials, especially Western materials. This could lead to harmful content that affects national security. It's impossible to filter through every document to determine which is harmful or not, especially when there are billions of documents available online. For example, a billion-character ebook that praises China may have one line that says, Hoang Sa and Trong Sa belong to Vietnam, and that would be considered a failure for China. The second thing is the chatbot AI. It is a self-thinking entity, which poses a challenge for China. In the past, China could control and limit every product because it could simply dictate what it should do. However, with chatbot AI, it is entirely different. Chatbot AI is a self-aware brain that can think for itself. It is difficult to prohibit something when it has the ability to think. You can stop me from punching my boss, but how can you stop me from thinking about it? This is the challenge for China today. China is determined to lead the world in developing its AI industry, surpassing even the US. But how can they achieve this when it is heavily restricted? These two objectives are conflicting, like trying to hold your wife to high standards of beauty but not letting her wear tight-fitting clothes or put on makeup. If China limits AI like this, it will be difficult for it to surpass the US. However, China can develop an intelligent chatbot AI that meets its standards, but it will not be powerful enough when it goes global because it only thinks in terms of the Chinese people. To compete with other countries, it still needs to learn international literature, which often speaks poorly of China. This is like slapping yourself in the face. This is a difficult problem that China needs to overcome. However, it is like a bitter pill to swallow. Do you think China's chatbot AI can beat the pandemic? Let's discuss this in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.